everyone, my name is Lynn and welcome to my channel. I recently went on a trip to Seattle with my sister over my spring break, which I did turn into a vlog, but I wanted to make a video on some of the pictures that I took while I was there. I recently bought a point-and-shoot film camera off of eBay for $35 after wanting one for years, but basically doing nothing about it, and so this is my first 2 rolls of film that I've ever shot, aside from like disposable film cameras. I was actually pretty pleased with how many of the photos turned out, so I just wanted to make a video to share them. this is basically a mini little photo walk. I've seen a handful of these on YouTube and I always like the way they turn out, so I was thinking maybe I could make my own, although next time I think I would try to film a little bit more intentionally for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you're interested in my Seattle travel vlog, it is right here on my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.